So I already know what you're thinking. What should I eat? How much should I be eating in order to lose fat or build muscle or just maintaining results while getting stronger? Whether you're a busy mom with multiple kids or your kids are grown and older, this training right here is going to give you a sneak peek inside of my Fit Mom Formula program to teach you exactly how my clients go about fitting in all the foods that they love. No food off limits. But in this resource, after this video, you'll be able to have your calories, your protein goal, and a sample meal plan. It's just that if you want to be able to stay consistent, you want more accountability, and you want to be able to put these meal plans together so that you don't need to be told what to eat like this meal generator does for you. I just want to be able to give you ladies kind of like a kickstart to knowing what you should be eating. But if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, hit the link on the last page and it'll get you to my application form where we can set up a free Fit Mom clarity call and go over your goals, what I feel like is holding you back, and give you your perfect game plan. So I hope you ladies enjoy this resource, and I put a lot of time into it, but I hope that it gives you all the clarity and more that you need to start getting in the right direction with your goals.
What is going on, ladies? Hope you're having the best day of your entire life. Welcome to the Fit Mom Easy Eating Method training. Today is going to be the last day that you ever have to follow another meal plan, follow a restrictive diet, do low carb, fast all day, or feel exhausted, feeling like you're just stuck eating what someone else tells you to eat, okay? We're going to make this so simple for you. The very first thing we're going to go over, I have a little itinerary here. We're going to do what are macros, the difference between macros and meal plans. Are carbs bad? We're going to talk a little bit about sneaky calories, how to actually read nutrition labels, so a little bit of theory, and then how to track your food in the workout app to make your life so simple while enjoying the foods that your family loves, okay? Should only take about 7 minutes. Okay, so grab a pen and paper, whatever you need, and just make sure you're distraction free as best you can, and let's get into this. First things first, what are macros? Macros are carb, fat, and protein. Okay, they make up your calories. And the alcohol is a macro as well, okay, but obviously, like, we try to refrain from having alcohol, get our calories from alcohol. That doesn't give us any nutrients, of course, right? So we're just gonna be talking about carb, fat, and protein. What are the difference between macros and meal plans? If you do macros, well, you can fit in all the foods you love, restriction free, and eat in the right calories and the right amount of protein. That way you can actually stay in a calorie deficit. If you follow a meal plan, and I give that to you, it never teaches you how to be able to do it for yourself. You stay stuck eating chicken, rice, and broccoli for the rest of your life. Or somebody makes you a fancy meal plan and you're stuck eating what they tell you to eat, and that sucks because maybe you get results, but when you're done following that meal plan and you're out on your own, you're not going to be able to keep your results, right? So I'm going to show you how to do this for yourself for the rest of your life. I like to teach people how to fish so that they can eat for the rest of their lives rather than I catch the fish for them and then they're reliant on me forever, right? This is why this is the last program you'd ever need to follow. Are carbs bad? Okay. Carbs are food, okay? Food is sustenance. Whether it comes from carb, fat, or protein, doesn't matter what you eat. There's no such thing as good or bad food. Just foods that have more nutrients and other foods that have less nutrients, right? Foods that are processed and then foods that are very whole. So where the sneaky calories come in that a lot of people feel, are bad is when you have chips, okay? There's obviously a lot of fat in chips. It's not the carbs that actually would stop you from losing weight. It's that fat has 9 calories per gram. Carbs have 4 calories per gram, and protein has 4 calories per gram. So fat is the most calorically dense. You look at an avocado this big, not very big, it's 300 calories. You look at a potato this big, it's only 100, 150 calories. So which one's going to keep you full, right? The potato, that's the same size as the avocado, or is the avocado going to keep you more full, right? Always the carb, always the potato. That is going to keep you more full. There's more fiber on it because of the skin, but also you can enjoy more of it without eating more calories. You could have 2 whole potatoes the size of 1 avocado and it would still be less calories than 1 avocado. So that's why chips and all these ultra processed foods that have a lot of oil, that are fried, have a lot of calories. People confuse potatoes thinking that they're high calorie, but it's only because they have a bunch of butter and oil on it that makes it. Same thing with when you go to restaurants. You have grilled veggies. Vegetables aren't very high calorie, right? There's carbs in veggies. They're healthy for you. But when they're drenched in oil, they are no longer 50 calories anymore. They're 500 calories, right? So that's where we have to be careful of the sneaky calories. Almonds, nuts and seeds, high-fat milk, high-fat yogurts, right? These kinds of things are absolutely okay to eat, but they're very, very easy to overconsume calories without having to eat very much of it, okay? That's where a lot of people get stuck. They eat healthy, but they actually eat way too many calories. Same thing goes for dressing. Dressing's high fat most of the time, which is why in our program we make a lot of low calorie sauces using plain Greek yogurt. Let's jump into how to actually read a nutrition label quick, and then we'll go into the more exciting stuff. So when you look at a nutrition label, just in case you didn't know, this is a little bit of theory, and don't worry, you won't always have to do this because luckily we have a food tracking app that makes it way easier. But when you look at a nutrition label like this whole grain and dried fruit cereal, there's 90 calories per serving. Where are those 90 calories coming from? Like I said, fat has 9 calories per gram. So that makes 27 calories in this whole grain cereal coming from fat. Then there's 13 grams of carbs. So there's 4 calories per gram and 1 gram of carb. So 13 grams times 4 is 52 calories coming from carbs. As you can see, most of the calories in this meal is coming from carbs. It's cereal. And then the protein's only 3 grams, and there's 4 calories and 1 gram of protein. So 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 calories out of the 90 calories is coming from protein. This is not a very high protein item, as you can tell. So that's how you actually read a nutrition label, in case you were ever wondering. Good news is we live in 2025, or whenever you're watching this, we were living in the future, so we can easily not have to do any of this math, and our life is so much easier. And I'm going to show you how. So I'm going to grab my phone, and I'm going to show you how you can start logging your food to eat the same food your family loves. And I'm going to pick foods that I often see you ladies eat. Okay, so let me open this up. Let me move it over here. This is the workout and nutrition app that you should have in your email ready to go, so you can start doing your workouts and nutrition. And if I'm going to log my food, okay, my calorie goal is 2,400 and my protein goal is 180. That's mine. It's not yours, so don't worry. But I'm going to show you how I would hit it easily. I click on the nutrition goal, or you can always click the plus button, and where it says today at the top. I like to eat the same breakfast every day, so I'm just going to tap every day of this week. Press save. So now anything I log will go to all the 7 days for breakfast. Okay, so I go for breakfast. I'm going to do Oikos Greek yogurt. I'm going to make this real fast, show you how quickly it can be done. Okay, I don't measure in cups because that's not accurate. I measure in grams, so I have 250 grams of that yogurt in the morning. Don't ask me why I'm having 250 grams. I just feel like it, right? Don't overthink this. You can enjoy as much as you want as long as you don't go over your calories and protein. So I have that. I usually have 1 scoop of protein powder in it, so I use Hydro Pure because it's my favorite and it tastes delicious. So I have 1 scoop. I typically have 2 scoops of that with a little bit of milk to thin it out. Okay, so I try to do it in milliliters, so I use my food scale, and I just have about, I have about 130 milliliters, I have about 200 milliliters of that, and then I add some berries, okay? So I just get mixed berries. I use a cup because it's pretty low calorie. I don't have to measure that in grams. Usually fruit and veg I don't measure in grams unless it's like starchy, like potatoes or carrots. So this is my breakfast. I press breakfast here because you get to choose, and then you just log it. So now, ignore the error message, it does that sometimes. Now for the whole week my breakfast is logged. I don't need to do track again because I'm going to eat the same thing every day just to make my life easy. I got 90 grams of protein in that meal with 647 calories. I still have, let's see, if I click on this and I go to details, I still have 1,753 calories remaining. I just fill in the rest. Super easy. I don't overthink it. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go add meal. I'm going to skip the photo for lunch. I have ground bison. That's what I'm having. I got it from Costco. And I'm going to do in grams, and I have about 250 grams of that. And then I have that with high protein wrap. Have to find the name of the brand, but I get it from Costco, high protein wrap. Sometimes I have those little keto wraps, if you know what I'm talking about, from Costco. Keto wraps, so I do 2 of those. And then I don't need to track the lettuce or the tomato because it's so low calorie. Like, why bother tracking lettuce when it's 5 calories a cup, right? So I'm not going to bother tracking that. I'm just going to track the salsa, okay? So I do 1 tablespoon of that. Not teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. And that's even only 5 calories, so you don't even really have to bother with that either. And then I use plain Greek yogurt as sour cream. And I use 0% because it's just lower calorie. Okay. And now my lunch is tracked for the whole week, unless I'm going to eat something different every day. So I usually do that in grams, and I just choose to have as much as I want, usually 100 grams. Okay. Now my lunch is tracked. I just have to make sure it's at lunch. Log. Boom. So today I've had 1,300 calories and 157 grams of protein already. It's not even dinner. I haven't even had a snack yet. So now you guys won't think, wow, protein's so hard to get in. For dinner, I'm going to have the same ground beef because I like to make my life simple. It's ground bison. Ground bison. I'm going to do the same thing, about 250 grams. And then I'm going to add, I have this chickpea pasta that I like to make in bulk. And I'm just going to have 1 serving of that. So on the box, it tells me how much is 1 serving. It's like 58 grams. So I'm gonna make that portion for myself. So chickpea pasta. And then I'm going to add the next thing. Sometimes what I'll do is, I don't track the basil leaves or anything because that's like no calories. You can chop up some onions and put it in there. So if you look at onions, 1 cup chopped is 64 calories. So I always like to measure my stuff in grams. So I'll maybe have 50 grams of onions. And that's my dinner. And as a snack, I'm probably going to have one of those fudge bars from Costco. Costco fudge bar. right here. Frozen fudge bar by Costco. Review, done, as a snack, log. So let's see what I hit today. I haven't even thought about it. Okay, my goal was to hit 180. I went over. That's not a bad thing. That's great. Okay, we want to get in more protein. I'm only at 2,241 calories, and I still need to get to 2,400. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to try to be as close as you can. So, I still have a couple hundred calories left. Maybe I'm hungry. I'm probably just going to have an orange, okay? Literally just one orange. Orange, I'm going to do grams. Maybe my orange was 150 grams, 200 gram orange. Track that. And because I still will have more calories left over, I might honestly just have might have, 2 Oreos, because I still have some calories left over and I want to have a snack with my partner. So I have a Oreo, 2 cookies, 110 calories, sure. Log it into my snacks. Okay, now, look, I'm at 2,445 calories and my goal is 2,400. Perfect. I'm almost perfect. I'm not even trying to be. We just try to be close to our calories. And I've already hit my protein, so I'm set for the day. That's it. So now, all I have to do is eat what I said I was going to eat. The 250 grams of yogurt, the 2 scoops of protein powder, the milk, the 280 milliliters of milk, the 1 cup of mixed berries. Like, I know what I need to eat, and I know food is off limits. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to do more complex recipes, but in my opinion, keeping these meals to 3 to 5 ingredients max makes it as accurate as can be so that you're losing weight every single week, and it just makes your life easier.